and welcome back to See the Stories, right here on the 3 Hour News Show on See Today. Now, for the next hour, we'll bring you the latest stories in our See the Stories segment, of course. And, we have a special guest here because we have, we have shared in the headlines that, we're going to talk to youth people to represent Indonesia who
in
go
the World Youth Festival.
Yes, in the World Youth Festival. So certainly very interesting.
Yes, we have one of the 155 members of the youth selected to represent Indonesia at the World Youth Festival, and one of them is Gisela Thesa, and she's here with us in our studio. Hi, Gisela.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me in the studio.
Congratulations on your selection to represent Indonesia in the festival.
Thank you so much.
First of all, can you elaborate more? How did you become selected to become one of the participants?
Okay, sure. Thank you so much for having me in the studio. My name is Gisela Thesa, and I am one of the delegates of Indonesia at the World Youth Festival 2024 in Sochi, Russia. So talking about the World Youth Festival, it is a festival, of course, a very large event, a grande festival, which was held from the 1st of March until 16th of March. It is divided into two main programs. The first one is the main program that held from the 1st of March to the 7th of March in Sochi. Because it is a festival, there is so many agendas happen in parallel, right? Just like a festival, and a lot of things discussed in the festival, from international policies, global youth issues, expo, until cultural and tourism also there. So that's about the main program, and not only that, after the main program, there is also a regional program. So the selected participants that has selected for the regional program have the chance to travel to another region of Russia. So the main program was held in Sochi, and the regional program held on the other regions. Me, myself, had the chance to travel to Smolensk region, near Moscow, if you know, And there, I met a lot of people there. I learned about their culture and vice versa. They also learned from us. And there is so many things going on there. And I went home at the 16th of March. So it's 16 days. The festival.
Wow,
16 days of adventure.
I mean, this is one of the things that I love about youth festivals is you get to meet a lot of people, right? So talk to us how many people from Indonesia came and what opportunities did you have in terms of topics, representing Indonesia to talk about how Indonesia is doing things.
Yes, okay, of course. So from Indonesia, we have 150 delegations.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. But there we met another 20,000 of youth from 180 countries.
So
it's a very big event.
A lot of people in one conference.
That's an entire city.
Yeah. So the entire Sochi.
Feel the Sochi area.
So it was big, and we feel so excited to introduce Indonesia there, because there is a platform for us to showcase Indonesia's culture and tourism. For me, myself, I have a background of being an Abang None tourism ambassador. So I brought that background of mine of being a tourism ambassador there. I talk a lot about Jakarta and Indonesia and about culture and etc. So it was very, very exciting.
It was really fun. And what is the goal of this year's World Youth Festival? And how do you guys as Indonesian delegates contribute to the dialogue?
Okay, sure. So the goal is, of course, to unite young people from all around the world. Like we bring our dreams, we bring our own we have our own advocacies and we bring it there. They give us a platform to exchange minds. And Indonesian's delegation, 150 delegation, have their own advocacies. For me, from the sides of tourism and cultural, I participate in a lot of discussions with the youth there. And I also exchange souvenirs with them. I brought almost 100 souvenirs like batik.
So every delegate has their own specialties, right?
Yes.
So your specialty was tourism and
culture. Of course.
Okay.
And the most exciting part is I got the chance to perform a traditional dance in the world stage.
That's nice.
Betawi traditional dance.
On your own?
With my friends from Abang None Jakarta.
I see. Because also you and Abang None friends went there.
Yes.
Yeah. So I heard that there was an instance, because I know a friend of mine went with you to that course. And I heard from one of his posts, he said that that you had to come up with something within 24 hours, and you didn't know each other before this particular festival, right? So all the kids from Indonesia and other countries had to come up with a cultural performance within 24 hours. So how was that experience? Like, how did you meet with different Indonesian kids with different backgrounds and create something together? I mean, that should be unity and diversity, right?
Yep.
At its finest.
Yeah. So it was very, very exciting that I met all the Indonesian delegation that from Sabang to Merauke, right? Not only Jakartans, not only from Jawa. So people from all around Indonesia. We met in Jakarta first time on the Russian embassy in Indonesia, and there we just get to know each other, and then we met again in Russia because we have different flights to Russia. So we met again like one day before the performance, and thankfully there is a person that coordinates all the delegations. So we made a choreography, and then we also do a rehearsal in our hotel, like just our initiative to do rehearsal, and at the day of the performance, we really nailed it. Like many people really take it seriously. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. And in what ways has your participation and your friends as well has impacted the youth culture or policy in the World Youth Festival?
Okay, talking about culture, cultural impact, I believe that after I went there to the World Youth Festival, I went to Russia, there is a change in perspective for me and the other delegations, because this is my first time and our first time going to Russia. So before we went there, we saw Russia like some stereotypes hanging around, that there's so much stereotypes about Russia and about the countries. And after I saw it with my own eyes, I felt myself, they're not like that. The people is so warm. Yeah, the people are so warm, so welcome. And I even see a similarities between Russia's culture with Indonesians, because
Such as?
Yeah, they have a lot of regions, like 89 regions, same like us, 38 provinces, right? And every region has its own culture. So they're also a multicultural country. So yeah.
Can you share what, in terms of things that you take back from the things you learned there, apart from realizing that stereotypes really do exist and assumptions exist in your head, you have to see it for yourself, right? Apart from this particular lesson that you shared before, what were the most valuable experience that you took home back in?
Okay, so the most valuable experience for me is when I saw Mr. President Vladimir Putin with my own eyes.
Wow!
At the closing festival, I got the chance to get in, and then he have a speech that the world is unite. Like we don't have differences. Maybe we came from another different countries, different cultures, but we are all as one to make world a better place. So it's like very touched for me. It touched my heart, and yeah, it was a very change. What can I say? Change my perspective about every country and about the world, of course.
Can I have a follow-up question? After this experience, because your specialty was culture and tourism, right? What's next for you? This is a big experience. I know you must have gotten some ideas, you must have gotten something for yourself, something that you want to do after this. So after this, what will you do with this experience?
Of course, Of course, I will implement the things that I got there in Indonesia. I will share it to my society with my friends, and also my friend in Abang None, of course, and then other youth in Indonesia. But not only me, other delegations also have their own advocacy and their own focus. And we all will share our knowledge to our friends in Indonesia. And we also have also, before we went to Russia, we have a session with Mr. Sandiaga Uno, Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy, and he said about initiative, he seems interested with this kind of event. And maybe if that initiative or idea can be continued to the next cabinet, we will have our own World Youth Festival in Indonesia.
Wow,
let's see.
That's so cool.
Let's see.
I mean, if we already have World Dance Festival here in Indonesia, why not have a youth conference? Why only wait every couple of years for G20 or ASEAN, but something completely different? So that's great.
I see. And yes, we're gonna talk back about her performance.
Yes,
the Betawi traditional dance. How your friends found it? They found it very interesting, and did they love it? And how did you find other people's performance?
they were very impressed with our performances in Indonesia, with its cultural richness, with our dances, because it's not specifically only about Jakarta or Betawi, because my friends also wore traditional costumes from all around Indonesia, from Aceh to Papua, from Sabang to Merauke. So the people there is very impressed with us. They took a lot of photos with us, like they're very, very exciting. And I also saw other countries' performances, right? And they were also amazing. I never saw like such performance before, and yeah, it was a life-changing moment for me.
Which one's your favorite?
My favorite, ours, Indonesians.
Of course not ours. I mean, like,
That's tough.
Yeah, that's
Maria.
tough. I mean,
That's
like,
tough. Really tough.
Because when I was in Miss World, I remembered I watched so many performances and they were so beautiful. But my favorite was a Russian ballet dancer. So
she was a ballet
gorgeous,
dancer.
like a swan lake.
I thought it was
performance.
the traditional Russian dance where they wear these really long skirts and they look like they're floating.
And not that one.
That was really, really cool.
It was on the talent show though.
Yeah.
Not the traditional dance.
So last but not least, so maybe for some Indonesian young people who are watching right now, you know, they could be inspired to move and to look for opportunities to see the world as well. What would you tell them in terms of what this experience has given to you and why they should consider looking for an opportunity or experience like this?
Okay, so for those of you guys who really want to do the same, you want to represent Indonesia to the international conferences or stage, I can advise you 3 things. The first one is determine your areas of interest, like identify what things that you're most passionate about and search for your anything, any topics or any thing about culture, tourism, educational, entrepreneurship, environmental, anything that you are passionate about. And the second one is please stay informed. You can see on social media there is so many accounts that share about these kinds of events, international events, scholarships, and you can follow us too on Instagram, INPCWYF, to see updated information about the upcoming festival. There is another upcoming festival. And the last one is keep your network and your collaboration with everybody and anything, organizations, embassies, and also friends from all around the world and all across Indonesia. So that is the 3 points that I want to say.
Wow, nicely said.
That concludes everything.
And the world is indeed a big place, right?
Yes.
It's indeed a big place. Not just here. Indonesia is already a very big country with so many cultures, but we appreciate the fact that, wow, you took the opportunity.
Yes,
to
and
really
you represent us.
Yeah, to represent us. And of course, share the best things about Indonesia. So, Gisela, thank you so much for
coming. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and your experiences.
And all the success.
In the festival. Yes, all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, yeah. So See the Stories will continue after the break. Make sure to stay tuned with us. Not the News Show only on See Today.